Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, I hope you're doing well. This is Kenya Revolutionary for another session. I'm sorry this morning morning my time, I started a live feed because I was trying to get us, to be, run my stream as things were unfolding in Kenya, in the parliament, but I was not able to do so. So I'm back again to make another one. So hopefully this time, I'll not have interruptions. Maybe David nani Itumbi sijui alifanya ile kitu or something like that. Ruto alisikia naingia kwa live stream akaleta mambo mingi. But anyway, I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and asanteni for joining me. I see Gudia. Hey, Gudia. Hey, karibu sana. Karibu. From wherever you're watching this, please, karibu. Karibu. Grab a chair. Kama unakula, chukua chakula, uweke chini. If you are drinking pombe, please chukua shot na ukae chini. Kama ni maziwa, nitakuacha ukunywe maziwa. Please stop what you're doing. Ninaongea hapa. Na kama unataka kuingia kwa studio utoe maoni yako, I can put the link and you can join me in the studio. Ama namna gani? But before I get started, we have to get the formalities first. Kama unaona hii channel, it's coming to your timeline, you don't know who this is, unaona mtu na kuna nywele mingi na anapiga makelele kwa microphone, please, the first order is to subscribe to the channel. Ni Kenya Revolutionary Channel. Unaona jina ndio hiyo. Tafuta kwa YouTube. Kama unaniona kwa X, enda kwa YouTube, utype hiyo jina na usubscribe mara moja. By the time tumemaliza kusubscribe, nataka watu 6,000. By the time tumalize watu 6,000, Ruto atakuwa ametoka kwa nini kwa kiti. But anyway, on a serious note, if you see this face on your timeline, whether you're on X or you're on YouTube, na ukaona hiyo jina hapo, type hiyo jina kwa YouTube, find me on YouTube, ebu subscribe mara moja. Na if you already subscribed na ukaniona nimeingia hapo, you know the first order of business, like mara moja. Hey, Gudi anasema I stopped my buzaa. Kumbe you're a buzaa drinker. Oh yeah. And I have liked that. Thank you so much. Okay, hata kama wewe ni mtu wa muguka, tafadhali ingia hapa. Yeah? Mambo ria. Haya. Okay. Wakenya waliamua leo. A good number of Kenyans leo walisema, hey, hii finance bill hii hatuitaki. We don't want it. Hatutaki. We don't want it. Walisema nini? Hatutaki. Let me just show you some snippets of what was happening in case you're living under a rock and you don't know what's happening in Kenya. I know some of you, we have Kenyans in diaspora, the ones who live in Australia, US, Canada, wapi, South America, other parts of Africa, other parts in Antarctica, Europe, Asia, uko, New Zealand, kila pahali. Join up. Nitawekea link up mkitaka kuingia kwa studio. If you want to get the studio, I'll put the link here. We can come and discuss this, okay? But I was so proud of Kenyans. I was so proud of what Kenya. Those special mention. There's this lady. What's her name? Oh my goodness, I cannot forget her. Is it? Oh my goodness, what's her name? Tafadhalini munisaidie hapa. What's this lady's name that was arrested who was leading this whole thing? I forgot her name. Oh my goodness, shame on me. Aliwachiliwa. Thank goodness aliwachiliwa. What's her name? She was leading this thing. Well, she's one of the, the faces of this movement. But yeye ndiye alikuwa anapatiana manamba ya hawa wanasiasa and urging people to go out there. Hanifa. Her name is Hanifa. I don't know her last name. Hanifa, if you're watching this, Hanifa, kudos. You are a true lioness. Okay? I'm glad to hear that waliku release from the police station. So you and you're back home. Sante sana. Oh my goodness. We need new faces in the new movement. Okay? And what I'm mostly proud of about this movement today is that wanasiasa were not involved in this. Politicians or political parties were not involved in this. They were not spearheading this maandamano. This was wananchi wanaandamana. I know I see Babu Owino was trying to hijack to make it seem like, hey, sisi ndio tuna. Babu Owino, you're an MP. You are supposed to be inside the parliament, not outside the parliament. So usijifanye ati wewe pia unajiingiza kwa hii movement ya wananchi. No. Ingia huko. Wewe kazi yako ni kwenda kuvote no. Am I audible? Am I audible, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, and comrades? I hope I'm audible. Come on, if I'm not audible, somebody tell me on the comment section. Hello? Or okay, I can hear you myself. I think so, maybe. But yeah. So I am so proud of Kenyans. For all of you who have been arrested, please, saidieni mandugu zenu. Let's get out. Hata Dennis Tumbi mwenyewe alikuwa anasema ati everybody who has been arrested should be released, which is it kind of tells you that, you know, these arrests were not I mean, these people are peacefully protesting. Why are you arresting them? They did nothing. Okay, so just to get started, the National Assembly has approved a special session on Thursday at 9:30 a.m. to consider priority business, including Finance Bill 2024. Tomorrow, which is Wednesday, the House will sit until 9:30 p.m. to consider the Finance Committee's report on the Finance Bill 2024. Do I need to repeat that? Let me repeat that. In fact, wale watu wana mandamano, tafadhalini, let's make it a week long of mandamano. Every day, let's let these MPs know that we don't want this finance bill in its entirety. I know. Let me just, hey, watch the volume kidogo. My microphone is messing up, but just pull it. Work with me. What, hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Babu Owino is an opportunist. You're okay. Thank you. I'm glad I'm audible. Yes. Babu Owino is an opportunist. What I want to say is this. I know there's some people who are saying, you don't want this finance bill in its entirety. So what's the solution? Well, the solution is this. Instead of including more taxes, how about this? The money that we have lost through corruption, historically, from even tuanze tu kwa ile serikali ya Uhuru tukiendelea mbele, ama tuende hata ile ya Kibaki tukiendelea mbele. The money that has been stolen, that people have been stealing left, right, and center through corruption and corrupt deals, the money that has been squandered. Why can't we use that money? My microphone is tripping. Why can't we use that money to finance, to use it to finance the budget? What is it? A 4 trillion budget? What is the budget in Nino? 3.9 trillion budget. Why can't we use that money that we lost in Nino in corruption instead of raising taxes to Kenya? You are in fact, easy taxes are taxing the poor. Wale watu ambao wanafanya kazi kwa nguvu sana wanateseka. That is the outrage. And again, to the point, wewe Babu Owino and you Azimio folks, kaeni nje. Kalonzo Musyoka, don't come near this movement. This is not your movement. You had an opportunity ya kuleta maandamano, mukaenda maandamano, and what did he end it? Mulitudanganya ati mtaleta cost of living chini, hamkuleta chini. You ended up by giving Raila Odinga the AUC seat. So musiingia hapa ati mnataka kuingia kwa hii movement. Sifuna wewe. Na wewe Babu Owino, musiingie kwa hii movement. This is a Kenyan movement. This is the wananchi's movement. Don't enter into this. Tutatoa Ruto vile sisi tunaweza kumtoa kama wananchi. Kwa sababu nyinyi watu wa Azimio, you are just bad as Kenya Kwanza. Munajifanya. Musiingie kwa hii movement. Wewe, musiingie. Babu Owino, do not enter into this movement. Hii ni movement ya Wakenya, wananchi wa Kenya ambao wamesimama wakajitolea kusema kwamba wata deal with Ruto how they know how, by exercising their sovereign rights. So Babu Owino, Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga, and all of you as the mere rotten apples, don't try to hijack this movement and make it about Azimio. Because we know you'll use it for NADCO report to implement NADCO, which is BBI. You'll use it for you to change the constitution so you can create more positions for you. You'll use it to enter into Serikal. So Babu Owino, Raila Amolo Odinga, and the rest of you rotten Mandamanoans, don't think you had the monopoly in Mandamano. Wakenya wa kawaida thinking Kenyans have decided to take matters in their own hand and remove Ruto and his minions, at least deal with them by letting their voice be heard. Ukiangalia Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC is reporting the protest. So I am so glad Wakenya who showed up, every one of you. I've received phone numbers of some of the people who are arrested, who needs to be bailed out. And we shall work on it accordingly. Let not this movement be hijacked by a political party or any politicians. Babu Owino akitokezea hapo anajifanya ati pia na join ma protesters, tumwambie aende akavote huko ndani ya parliament, ndani ya bunge. Salasi akikuja atakuja kuongea na wananchi, tumfukuze na hiyo ninio mawe, aende huko ndani ya parliament akaongea kwa parliament. Alisema mwaka huu ataongea hata yeye. Sifuna akijitokeza anajifanya ati pia anataka kuongea na wananchi, tumfukuze, tumwambie enda ingia huko kwa Senate, go deal with Sakaja, remove Sakaja. Usikuje kutuambia. This is not a political move, this is the people's movement. Like this video, subscribe. Kama huja subscribe, sijui nitafanya nini na wewe. Enda kwa YouTube saizi subscribe mara moja. Let me play you some videos and let's get a view of what happened. I know some of you didn't saw it, but niliwaambia, I'm so proud of this generation. I'm almost in tears right now. I'm getting emotional when I see young folks, wanaita Generation Z or Z as watu wa English say. Wamesema sisi hatutakuwa generation kama ile akina sijui watu akina nani huko ambao walikuwa napiga kama galila afaro. This generation will not take squat from Ruto's regime. Ruto and this parliamentary, and I told you, the first people to deal with is these MPs, members of parliaments. Unaona nani aliongea hapo? Jamaa wa Kakamega anaitwa nani? Kalwale alitoa video alafu akakimbia ameenda Kampala, anapiga picha anasema anaenda Kampala. General Z or General Z, if you are British, American will say Z. I am so proud of you. I've never been proud proud of Kenyans. Hanifa, tafadhali, somebody tag Hanifa in Twitter. I need to interview her. That's my new heroine. She's 10 times better than Martha Karua. 10 times better than Martha Karua. 10 times better than Charity Ngilu. 10 times better than Esther Passaris. Ten times better than Wamuchomba. Hanifa, come to my channel. I'll give you 1 hour to speak your mind freely. Commercial free. Hapa kuna commercial. My new heroine. Hero. Taka yote sijui Martha Karua. Mnajifanya you are revolutionaries only when you are thrown out of power. When Martha Karua was in Kibaki's government, what did she do? But let's not move focus. The focus today is to a rebel salute to the young folks who showed up in the streets of Nairobi enduring tear gas. Hallelujah. Bwana sifiwe. Yote yawezekana bila Ruto, yote yawezekana. Ruto, you need to be out. Tuingie kwa mada. Because there's so much happening. Let me start with this video so I can let's get a glimpse of what was happening today. Sawa. Haya, tuingie kwa ninio. Tafadhali like the video, don't waste any time. Nyinyi watu wa X, tafadhalini ingieni endeni kwa YouTube, type ninio Kenyan Revolutionary hapo na musubscribe immediately. Nataka Ruto akiamka anaweza kuona sura yangu ndio nimwambie ukweli wa mambo. truth be told. Aya, twende kazi. Today is today. Asemaye kesho ni mrongo. Ama namna gani? Aya, twende basi. Mko sawa? Ndio hii video ya kwanza that I saw.
Tripod ulienda nayo? Hayuko kwa gari. Sio ni yeye by the way.
Kuna microphone, kuna kamera. Leta tuongee hapa. Pilka katikati mwa jiji la Nairobi, baadhi ya waandamanaji wakikamatwa, wanahabari pia wakilazimika kujitambulisha na wananchi pia vile wakiangalia hali ilivyo. Nafikiri kwa sehemu ndogo au kubwa, pengine kuna sehemu ambazo kidogo biashara zimeathirika kutokana na maafisa usalama kukabiliana na wananchi, kurusha vitoa machozi. Ken, kabla ya kwenda mapumzikoni, kuna maswala ulikuwa unazungumzia.
Nilikuwa nasema kwamba maandamano tunayoyaona katika jiji la Nairobi na pande zote za Kenya ni uwajibikaji wa serikali katika matumizi ya fedha za umma. Serikali haiwezi ruhusiwa kila mwaka kuleta mswada wa fedha unaotoza ushuru zaidi na matokeo hayaonekani. Nilipeana mfano wa mwaka jana ambapo ufadhili wa elimu ya bure ulikuwa ni 50% tu, ile hali bunge lilikuwa limetenga fedha za kutosha. Serikali haijawaambia Wakenya kwamba hii 50% ambayo hatukufadhili shule ilienda wapi, kumaanisha kwamba wale wanaowajibika walivuja hizo pesa na kuzitumia vibaya.
Kidogo tu nikuzuie tusikize sauti nafikiri.
By the way, there's this cop who was wearing civilian clothes, alikuwa na vest ya blue. He was really harassing protesters. Jina yake imeandikwa chini na kuna nambari yake pia imeandikwa chini kwa Twitter. We shall be calling him. Kuna watu wameandika Twitter. I'm telling you, the revolution inaanza kwa Twitter. All these police who were wearing, civilian clothes, they've been identified na namba yao imeandikwa chini. They can be sued. Sued for what they are doing because they were infringing upon the rights of the protesters. Our watu have the right to picket. And it's so stupid because they're saying that they're not allowing people to go to CBD and protest around the parliament. Kwani mlikuwa mnataka hao watu waende wa protest wapi? Since the issue is being discussed in the parliament, so why can't you let, if anything, the taxpayers own that parliamentary building? Kahawa. One thing. Let me just start by this. Let me start. There's something I want to say. There's something that before I get to the murder. Before I get to the murder, let me wacha ningie kwa mada. Tafadhali nyinyi mko kwa X and then hapo kwa YouTube, my YouTube channel na subscribe mara moja kwa sababu hii ni mambo kali. We need to discuss this extensively. I am so proud of Kenyans. I'm so proud. So proud. So proud. Uno momento. Ngoja kidogo. I'll tell you why. Ngojeni kidogo. Okay, hold on. This is what I wanted to say. You know, there's something, and I want to play this guy. His name is Omosh Jakababa. I know he's one of those Jivanji people. I like the fact that they always speak their mind, but there's a certain arrogance among Raila supporters who always feel like they're the only ones who they have to call. Raila is the only one who can call Mandamano, and their followers are the only participants who can actually go out there and, Mandamana. But they fail to understand that Kenya is just not themselves, Raila supporters and Raila. I don't want to make this about Raila. I just want to make a bigger point about this protest. Because frankly speaking, I never expected a lot of people to show up the way they did today. And I'll show more of Ninio. I just want to highlight this itty-bitty point about Raila Odinga, the Azimio folks who always feel that Raila's Boyish teacher Mandamano, no one can go to Mandamano. But today, they were proven wrong. Yes, Umoshwa now. I know. Let me just show you something that he said yesterday, before all this. Because he kind of, echoes a lot of sentiments by diehard ODM, Azimio folks who always feel like they're the only ones who can, have a proper Mandamano. So let's listen to what he's saying. Just a bit.
Budget isipite itaumiza kila mtu na almost Jakababa 1 hour. Leo ni leo mambo ya finance bill, na tunatoa onyo leo. Wale walipiga kura wakasema si uchawi, ni maombi. Walipiga kura na feelings. Hakuna maandamano tunaenda. Atuendi. Budget isipite itaumiza kila mtu. So, kama unajua ulipiga kura na feelings, ukasema si uchawi, ni maombi. Nani aende maandamano? Nani aende? Kesa tunaenda mujaribu. Sasa mnajua maandamano. Atuendi. Na ipite. Kila mtu aumie. Wale wanapiga kura na feelings. Sasa na walamba. Na itawaramba zaidi. Amweje unapima hata akili ati kesho ati mimi most na kama 1 hour. Niamuke asubuhi na mapema. Niende town ati budget ipite. Watu waumie wote. Unipiga kura au kupiga kura utaumia. Wenye wanasema tuende maandamano ati kesho tuende town. Atuendi. Chukua mkono yako. Kama unaweza piga makofi na mkono moja. Kama unaweza piga makofi na mkono moja. Wewe kupiga hapo ufala ati nani aende? Nani aende? Nani aende? Mnasema si uchawi, ni maombi. Asa mnatupima akili ati budget inasomwa kesho. Tuende tusimame. Nani asimame? Mnafikiria sisi ni wajinga zaidi? Sijini mnasema si uchawi, ni maombi. Mkotuambia tukira tena. Ati saa hii Raila Amolo Odinga atoe juu baba ndiye anajua maana ya maandamano, ati baba atoe watu wake. Ati umosi mko wapi? Kesho kujeni asubuhi na mapema mambo ya finance bill isipite. Kumbafu nyinyi. Ipite. Kila mtu aumie. Ruto hakukuwa Kenya, aliingia. Kakuja na pesa. Amekuja na pesa. Na hii naambia free hapa. Tupende tusipende. Mambo ya finance bill itapita. Hawa bunge, hawa. Unasikia mwingine anasema mimi ni mgonjwa. Mimi sikuji. Pesa iko kwa account yao. Hakukuwa, aliingia. Na vile aliingia tu pesa kila mtu kwa simu yake. Ting 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 ting. Hawatakuwa. Mambo ya finance bill ikipita, mimi najua ijui Azimio, ijui UDA, ijui ANC ya.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make by playing that video is to show you that the majority of Raila supporters, town supporters, Azimio ODM supporters, always feel that we can never have a maandamano without Raila Odinga. In fact, they think that they are the only ones who can actually have a maandamano in Kenya. But the thing that they fail to understand, I usually tell my Azimio friends this, is like, if you miss the opportunity, if you're really serious about stopping Ruto on his tracks, you have to work with other people. You by yourself, you're not going to do it, okay? Because I'm sorry, Raila Odinga lost his credentials, but this is not about Raila Odinga. This is about the people, the heroes that showed up in that maandamano. So let me not make it about that. So I'm just wanted to make that in new. But hold on. So here are some people who are actually making their voice known, I'll play you a couple of politicians who are arguing otherwise or whatever the case is. But here it is. Just listen to a couple of protesters what they had to say.
Sanitary towels. Mtoto wako atumii zile diapers. So you police officers, I'm fighting for your rights. Nikisema occupy parliament, I'm fighting because of you. So let me naambia nyi polisi mko hapa, tafadhali. Don't fight me because I'm fighting for your rights. Yes. I need to say something. If you look at the Kenyan constitution, naitwa Kafarali. I'm actually an aspirant in Lower Savannah, Embakasi East constituency. Under His Pekiness, His Excellency, Right Honorable Babu Owino. Now, I need to say something. If you look at the Kenyan constitution, Section 4, under the Bill of Rights, Part 2, where we have the rights and freedom. Now, look at this. We as Kenyans, every Kenyan has the right to demonstrate. Every Kenyan has a right to picket. Every Kenyan has a right to present his petitions to the public authorities. So if you look around what is happening, these police officers are our brothers. They are our brothers and our sisters, and we respect them.
So there's no way when we try to demonstrate our rights so that we can be able to fight for us Kenyan citizens, and then we see the police trying to harass us, to arrest us, and yet we are also fighting for the rights of the police officers. We are fighting for their rights so that their salaries can also increase. If you look at this, whatever that they're trying to pass today, this thing is going to kill us Kenyans. Our economy is going down. Our economy is going down. You know, and it's the right time for us Kenyans to know that we need to vote for the rightful leaders, not just politicians. We need to elect leaders. Thank you very much.
Nimrod.
Okay. So those are the people who are speaking. Now I want to show you a video of this hero, my newfound hero. I hope she won't disappoint. Hanifa. I said her name is Hanifa. This lady is really, you know, she was in the center of everything of this this movement, this whole protest. Now, in case you know, there was nakwambia revolution imeanza kwa Twitter. It starts to unaona sisi tunapiga makelele hapa kwa mtandao. You know, don't think that if you're in this mtandao you have no voice. You have a voice. I'm not talking about just me. I'm talking about all you people who have your channels and you have your voices being heard out there. Whether you're tweeting and you have a huge following, don't stop. Hii ni movement ambayo inaweza kutoa Ruto. I'm telling you, it might be something as small as you think it is, but people are listening, people are paying attention, and the president, along with his minions, are trying to make changes in this finance bill. Uliwaona hapo, I'll play their clip wakisema ati watatoa sijui VAT on mkate, sijui watatoa ile mambo ya gari, tax ya magari and all this stuff, trying to appease Kenyans. But I'm telling you, this thing should be rejected in its entirety. Let's get to it. Let me show you just a snippet. I know there's some clips that also we need. I just need to share with you. I have to share with you. So you can get an idea of how this thing was. I'm so glad. Wakenya, I rebel salute to everyone who was out there. Nakwambia, I'm so glad. I'm so happy. How do you do? Let me just show you another video. Kama you know. Okay, this is somebody posted on Twitter, TikTok. There's so many.
Barua toka Jaramogi na Kenyatta wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa, nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster, watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana, na Tomboya ameshika tamu, alituacha kama angali kijana. Je, angekuwa mambo yangekuwa sawa?
That was just a snippet of how many people were out there. You know, these were ladies who were arrested. They were in the jail cell, still singing. Yes. It doesn't have to be. This is not an Azimio movement. This is not a Kenya Kwanza movement. This is a Kenyan movement. It's so funny because KwaZulu Natal, something similar is happening. But in South Africa, that's an issue about electoral justice. Waliiba kura huko pia. But I won't play this. I want to make it about this, what happened transpired today in Kenya. So I won't, I will not mention what's happening here. Okay. Did you see this lady? Baka, did you guys see this? This was just Mulionai. This was funny. Senator Gloria Orwoba. I guess she was the one who was complaining about the taxes that were being, levied on the pads, wanawake, the senator. So somebody busted her balls because she was right there when the president and Kenya Kwanza, were mentioning their bullcrap tax. And somebody wrote, this Senator Gloria Orwoba ali protest juu ya pads, akajipaka hadi paint ya red, akajiweka hadi kwa billboard. Namwona akitingisha kichwa nyuma ya Ruto akikubali pads ziongezwe tax. You raggedy, finish that. Unaona vile wanasiasa wanatuchezea? I remember she was the one who was always pro, you know, and alikuwa anajifanya, you know, pads ziongezwe bei or whatever the case is. Now look at her. You see why I am so against this whole idea of Wakina Babu Owino joining this organic Kenyan movement against this president. Because they'll come in and use it for their advantage. That's why I don't want any politician, whether it's Azimio or Kenya Kwanza, don't come near this movement. We don't want you. Wewe ukitaka kufanya kazi, fanya ile kazi ulipewa. Go legislate. Go vote no uko. Babu Owino and Sifuna and the others who I saw were trying to get into this new movement. And then kazi yako ni huko kwa bunge. Wachana na wananchi waendelee na maandamano yao. Your spokesperson Mosh, uliona hapo akisema ati sijui baba asiposema sijui nini. Si walikata. Kenya is bigger than your political party and your followers. Kenya is bigger than your political party and your followers. Should I repeat it? Kenya, the country, the people, the sovereign people, are bigger than your party and your little followers. Understand that. Get it through your thick skull. Ninaendelea. Tuendelee tukiendelea. I'm not done yet. All right. Hold on for a second. There's some more. Ndio Hanifa, she said, they can't arrest everyone. F the police. Mwende Amendika, vaccinate the cows in parliament. I love that. I love it. Love it. Hey, Wakenya yawa. Hey, kweli hii itafanyika. The movement anyway. This is part of the new U.S. Embassy issued a safety alert to U.S. citizens over Finance Bill 2024 protests in Nairobi CBD. Mliona hiyo? So things are happening, Things are happening. Unaona? It's just amazing. I am so proud of Kenyans. And this is starting all in the cyberspace. Inaanza kwa cyberspace. Let's look at this one. In fact, there were people who were protesting against Sakaja too. They had placards of, saying not so very nice complimentary things to Sakaja. So I'm telling you, BlackRock imetoka Kenya. That's a plus. We don't miss them. So this is the cop that I'm talking about, who was harassing a lot of protesters. Mnaweza kumuona kwa screen. Okay, there he is. His name is Martin Githinji. His number is 254-704-490122. This guy was arresting a lot of people. Actually, he's a member of UDA. Walipata hata ninio yake. His picture was even found in UDA. His Instagram picture or whatever the case, Facebook picture. So yeah, this is him right here. See how brutal he is. Unaona? He was taking stuff from Hanifa.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Anachukua shati yangu kwa nini?
What are you doing?
This is him.
Anachukua shati yangu kwa nini?
I'll show his picture one more time. Hold on. Because we need to get this person right here. Unamona is the one who grabbed Hanifa's shirt. His name is Martin Gintinji. His number is 254-704-490122. We must address him. And he should be sued. Taken to court. Yeah. Yeah, you can't be brutalizing wananchi. She's peaceful. She wasn't doing anything. Unakaona hapo hivi. Unakaona. Kuchali. These are the people that we need to. And apparently he had a case. Unaona vile watu wanafanya, hey, nakwambia, internet is everything. Apparently he had a case before where he was accused. Look, court detains 2 cops, KNHR nurse, over 6 million Isli robbery. 11th October 2019, Martin Bae Githinji, the same dude, okay? Unaona, they're accused of robbing businessmen Abdullahi Hussein Yusuf and Mohammed Hussein Mohammed on the night of October 4th and 5th. Unacheki. So the guy is a rogue police officer, and you see how he's acting. These are criminals. These are not people who should be in the police force. And we should put pressure on the police so we can remove people like this one. You see what I'm saying? Activism aishi kwa ninio kwa streets. Activism inaendelea mpaka kwa internet. Now we need to expose this kind of policeman. He's violating people's wananchi's rights. Already we know he has a history of robbing people. Unaona? Now, here's another snippet on what happened. Now, I want to bring your attention to this tool, Ambrose Weda, who is trying to justify all these taxes and this nonsense. Let's deconstruct him in 2 minutes.
Because there are things which have to be done. The Member of Parliament talked.
Hold on. Let's listen to this pinhead for a minute.
Ambrose. Thank you. Fellow Kenyans, I have to tell you that shooting down the finance bill would be very disastrous to this country. And you will be hurt more because there are things which have to be done. The Member of Parliament talked about Greece. When the economy goes down, it's the very Wanjiku that suffers. We want our members of Parliament to look through the bill, debate it robustly, knowing the bills that have to be paid, the services that have to be rendered, and the growth we project to achieve. I know that it is the middle class like me who have access to the BDR to influence people, and they don't want to pay tax. I don't want to pay. Nobody wants to pay tax, even during the days of Jesus. They don't even want to pay tithe in churches, these same people.
Whether, hold on a minute. No one is saying that they don't want to pay taxes. That's not the issue. Of course, no, if you had a choice, we would not pay taxes, but we're saying this. You can't keep on taxing us, number one, increasing taxes on social class, the middle class, and whether you're not as middle class. This guy is a millionaire, multi-millionaire. The issue is that you keep on raising tax, okay, on a population that already wamefinywa are overburdened with taxes. Okay? That's the issue, number one. And number two, you keep on raising taxes while we don't see where our tax money goes. You're not offering services. You're not creating jobs. You're not improving our infrastructure. You're not building factories, industries where it can create jobs. If anything, the tax that we pay is getting lost in corruption. So it is not that Kenyans don't want to pay tax. Kenyans are just fed up because you keep on asking us to pay more taxes while we do not see any return. Not only don't we see any return, these very government institutions and the minions that work in these institutions, we see them fly in private jets, buy expensive things using our tax money. Ruto spent 200 million to go to the US for a 5-day visit. We paid for that. Then you come back and ask us to pay more taxes. Barabara are still poor. There's still no schools. Okay? Hospitals that can patiana matibabu. Hakuna madawa kwa hospital. That is the issue where it's not that Kenyans don't want to pay tax. You're raising taxes every year, but we don't see the money. The money that we pay inapotea kwa corruption. And you're here in national TV lecturing us about taxes. How dare you?
As a pastor, an Anglican pastor, I tell you, they don't want to pay tax. You bring that, they say, oh, the tax, Jesus was our tithe. You bring so taxes are a contentious issue. And therefore, let us look at it a bit soberly. I'm happy that the president has chosen growth over populism. He could have chosen to be a nice, popular president. But he said, even if I do 5 years and I lose for making these decisions, fine. That is what we need at this critical time. Kenya is a beautiful country. We are growing. And I know when you talk about it, middle class like Weda, under you, they feel tax, motor vehicle tax. No.
Weda, stop there. You're talking about growth and, it's not popularism. It's not growth. There's no growth if the people who are actually paying these taxes don't feel this economic growth. If there's real economic growth, then we should feel it. We, the people, whether we are in the lower class, middle class, 1%, or that case, we should be able to see that the economy is growing. What's the indicators that the economy is growing? More people are employed. Services are rendered. We see infrastructure being built, industries. But we're not seeing any of that. The prices of basic commodities are going up. We have importing more. And you're taxing us to death. After we pay taxes, we don't have anything for our own to spend. We don't have that extra money where we can go for the weekend and take our wives and kids to the park. And you're here telling us about economic growth. Which economic growth? Where that should be stoned.
But this is a price we have to pay. Wastage has to be eliminated. Corruption has to be dealt with. But otherwise, we have to grow.
Ruto has been singing about corruption even before he became president. He became president, he's been talking about corruption. And the number one corrupt people who have in his cabinet, starting from Linturi. Kesi inapelekwa kwa kotini, there's no enough evidence. There's no enough evidence. There's no enough evidence. And we know these people are corrupt. So you're not fighting corruption. You're not.
Grow this our country.
Thank you.
And you can only grow it through the payment of tax. That is sad, but we have to do it.
Yes.
You don't grow an economy by raising taxes. You see this idiot, Ambrose Wode. I don't know where that. Abandu Bonji. Abandu Bosi. What's wrong with this guy? Anyway.
Money paid with his life. We have just to pay money and grow.
And Kenyans are paying their fair share.
Anyway, let me just let me just be quiet because Ambrose is Ambrose. Anyway, so that's part of the discussion. That is what's going on. I wanted to highlight something else. Something from the Katiba Institute that was saying in a unanimous decision, High Court judges Kanyi Kimondo, George Odonga, and Chacha Mwita agreed with Katiba Institute that the sections of the law that shielded legislators from removal were unconstitutional. Guys, if you joined me yesterday, if you watched my video yesterday where I was talking about laws and legislation that make it hard for us to recall these MPs or impeach the president, you can go over that and see how. Remember, these very MPs are the ones who passed these laws, the Election Act under Section 45 there. You can see it. They make it so hard for us to be able to recall them. And this is what is being ruled on by the High Court judges Kanyi Kimondo, George Odunga, and Chacha Mwita, who agreed with the Katiba Institute that sections of the law that shielded legislators from removal were unconstitutional. You remember I said it. There's some sections that needs to be changed. I didn't even know this. But they are. The judge, High Court, wamesema is unconstitutional. Go watch my video from yesterday about laws that will help us remove these rogue MPs and the president, okay? So that was kind of a follow-up of what from the video that we had yesterday. Here's a good exchange, another exchange of weather.
Very sad that you do not know that the economic interventions last year, the GDP expanded from 4.8 to 5.4. You are the one who should educate your people. Us coming to say rubbishing everything, that's wrong. For these gentlemen and ladies going to occupy parliament, it's good in expanding freedom, pleasing their donors. We are doing something. But those who want a dent, those who...
Number one, just because people are not going to occupy parliament to please their donors, okay? Well, some of them may have been given money to go be part of the protest. Majority of the people who went there have actual real concerns about this finance bill. Okay, so don't assume that everyone that went there were paid by donors. In fact, I don't see what these donors will gain from giving people money to go protest against this finance bill. Kenyans feel the pinch of high taxes, high taxation.
Want some work to be done on the finance bill. They would make recommendations to Mheshimiwa, and they say, Mheshimiwa, these are our objections, these are what we think, and therefore when you go inside parliament, please raise these ones, debate these ones. Now, they rubbish the MPs, they rubbish the presidency, they rubbish everything being done. The only thing that what they are doing outside...
They are rubbishing it because from what we have seen, read, there's nothing there that benefits wananchi. It's all over taxation. That's number one. Now, you make a good point that if we do not want it, they should come and say what they recommend needs to be changed. I've mentioned this. This is a recommendation as where somebody tagged Ambrose Weda, this pitbull looking of man. Number one, if Ruto was serious about fighting corruption, sealing these loopholes by members of the administration, the previous administrations, the trillions that have been looted from the economy, we won't need a 3.9 trillion budget. We could fund all these projects using the money that can be repatriated from theft, public theft, by members of Ruto's cabinet, MPs, governors, and previous administration. whether it's county level administration or national level, from MCAs, MPs, senators, governors, members of the administration, and even the president himself. If the president was serious about corruption, the money that can be brought back from the corrupt deals, the trillions, is enough to pay for all these budgetary needs that Ruto is asking Kenyans to pay for. That's the first recommendation. Put that in writing and go argue that in Parliament. Let me see which parliamentarian has the balls to do so. Because otherwise we shall sing about all this. We shall make budgets, 4 trillion budget, then go back to wananchi with the finance bill asking them to pay more. And after they pay more, what will happen? Ruto will keep on spending extravagantly. Murkomen, Sudi, Linturi will keep on stealing. The next year, we shall come with another finance bill asking us to pay more taxes while we'll have zero economic growth. You don't, anyway, let me go ahead.
Side going to occupy Parliament is the best. We have a structure, the Constitution, elections, MPs, senators, presidency, judiciary. When we are talking about the finance bill, when we are talking about the country, we are talking about figures and we are talking about what to be done. So there are things people speak during elections. I know my brother Mwenja here. He spoke good things. I will bring free education.
Yes, it's about figures. And we can actually audit from the previous administration to the current one the figures that have been lost in the name of corruption. And we can use those figures, whether Ambrose, to pay for the things that this government wants to achieve if they're really serious about economic growth. Pesa iko, lakini mnakula pesa. Corruption and lack of the rule of law, lack of the respect for the rule of law is what is killing Kenya. Whether the problem is not people don't want to pay tax. We understand how government works. But as long as the president does not respect the rule of law and keeps on playing these games when it comes to corruption, we shall always have this problem. You collect money from the wananchi and no growth is happening. The money that has been collected by KRA, taken to the treasury, will be used by these governors, the members of his cabinet, CSS, and all this nonsense. Used by them through corruption, and nothing will be done for the wananchis. So wananchis are saying, no. Umetufinya ya kutosha. So the first step, take that finance bill 2024 in its entirety and shove it down your ass. Start from scratch. You want money? Let's find where the money is. We know where the money is, and it's not coming only from the taxpayers. Start by the money that has been lost from corruption. Then we shall have a serious conversation.
Free meals, free food. But when you go in and look at the past, the money, that is when you say, we have to collect this money and just pay teachers. We are not going to build classrooms because of the money. Somebody says, people have been paying teachers. Madam, us, we are lucky. Me and you, we are lucky that we are just called to pay money. People like Dedan Kimathi, people like Achieng' Oneko, people like Kotalela Rapsomei, they were called to get rid of the Wazungus, and they had to put their lives on the table for us to be free. And Dedan Kimathi is still dead. So when it comes to us squeezing ourselves to pay tax, nobody wants to pay tax. Nobody loves to pay tax, but it is a sacrifice we have to make. I don't like to pay it. If you look at the middle class tax, like motor vehicle tax, the one that has been hyped, I don't want to pay it because I'm one of the major victims who pay it. But the principle of taxation, the world over, is that you look for the money where it is, and you look for the rich.
Okay.
The middle.
Yes, Ambrose, you have faced a lot of fundamental issues.
Yes.
There in regards to also the economic growth that you have mentioned.
Yes.
You said 4 billion?
5.4 from 4.8.
Okay.
The GDP.
Okay.
The total transactions valued in money in the country.
Okay. The largest sector in terms of contribution to that?
I need to check, but I think it is agriculture that gives us more. We spend less, we spend more on imports, but what feeds this country, what keeps us living, what everyone could eat is from the agricultural sector.
Agriculture, right. That's according to the Economic Survey report of 2024.
Yes.
And this is largely because of the rains that we have had in 2023.
Yes.
And given the climate patterns, how sure are you then this can be sustained, given the predictions by the UN that we could be looking into the dry season?
Yes. My brother, that is why we again recall and say, may God save, put Professor Wangari Maathai's soul in eternal rest. He said, nature does not forgive. We have to address certain issues that will address climate change. And that can only be addressed through fiscal decisions. Now we don't want e-taxes to address these issues so that...
First of all, if you are an agro economy, we rely on our agriculture. It's the number one sector that's actually, bring us a lot of money, okay, you talk about climate change, and we've had UN reports that are telling us that we might have drought. If you have a responsible government at the helm, safari ya kesho upangwa leo, okay, if we know that there might be drought in the coming years or season, whatever the case is, how about we increase production of our crops, okay, have enough in reserve, like Iceland. Iceland has food reserve for the next 2 years, even if there's a drought or whatever comes through. That's what I'm talking about. Produce more and have enough reserve where we don't have people suffering in Samburu or Narok or whatever the case is when these droughts come. We have enough money in our reserve where we can give people who are suffering from these droughts some food if we have a responsible Nino. So climate change, you don't use climate change and these reports and telling us that the way to deal with that is through fiscal responsibility by taxation, raising taxes. I mean, what kind of argument is that? Unless I missed his point. What is it talking about? Whether, I know you're a lawyer, but you're speaking, Ambrose, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed with you.
Tomorrow, ourselves and our children and grandchildren will get a better country. We'll deal with this climate change. That one also we have rejected. We just want to occupy parliament.
Okay.
Some people have to pay a price.
Let's come to motor vehicle tax that you have talked about.
Yes.
The people who need to pay the price are the people who are siphoning this money from public in your coffers, okay? The corrupt leaders, the corrupt representatives that are taking billions. Start with Sakaja, move forward.
And this is meant to get 58 billion as per the chairperson of the committee.
Yes.
Kuria Kimani.
Yes.
A couple of questions.
Yes.
We had introduced a while ago the petroleum levy.
Yes.
Back in the day, there was also the motor vehicle insurance.
Yes.
It was replaced by the fuel levy to collect revenue.
Yes.
And now you're introducing another tax.
Correct.
Isn't that double taxation?
That may be double, triple, quadruple taxation. The basic principle of taxation is that you look at who has the money, who has benefited the most in this economy. And in Kenya, the way to check is land, cars. We have 5 million cars in this country. About 1 million cars are transport. Okay. The other 4 million are luxurious top of the range cars driven by Ayub, Ambrose Weda, Mheshimiwa Mwenje, great lady, big cars. Now, when you want to raise money, you look and say, now we go to these people. And because they are the middle class.
But they're already paying tax. Remember?
Yes.
Why do you want to double tax them?
It is not double tax. Triple. It is triple. It could be.
Why then?
Because we have to raise money to fund the budget.
Is it by all means necessary?
Let me tell you, I'm a private citizen.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, yes.
Are you comfortable paying that money?
Nobody's comfortable paying tax, but we have to pay it. It's a price. I told you. It's not comfort.
Yeah.
It's a price we have to pay our day. They done paid with their lives, and now we are yapping here free. Now us, we pay money.
The challenge is, Ambrose, Wakili, is that somewhat you're painting the Kenyan people as not playing their fair share of the game and not paying taxes.
No.
I mean, post-independence, you have talked about pre-independence. Post-independence, Kenyans have been consistent in their fair share of the taxes that they have paid. It's the aspect of mismanagement of the funds that they pay.
Thank you, Ayub. Thank you. It is about mismanagement of the taxpayers' money. But Weda wants to tell us, triple tax. Dedan Kimathi. And we are yapping here. This guy is a proper tool. Let's continue.
And the stealing of the money that they pay.
Yes.
You are depicting the Kenyan people as though there is laxity and a laid-back approach that they have in terms of paying their taxes.
Ayub, allow me to
Why
explain.
not live within our then?
Allow me to explain.
Okay.
The figures I gave you, if you add them, there will be nothing for development. And I told you that I went to university paid by other people who paid taxes. Now I have benefited most. I'm a lawyer of 29 years, senior, big legal fees. Now it is my turn to be compelled to pay. I don't like paying it, but have to pay so that.
Weda. The issue is not you paying the taxes, Weda. The issue is, even if you're paying that taxes will not do what it's meant to be done, what is meant to be doing. That's tax that Weda you are going to pay, Mr. Big Lawyer of 26 years, your money that you're paying for taxes will go be used for a private trip for Ruto and his minions and others. Sakaja will use it to buy land. That is what the argument is here, Weda, Mr. 26-year experienced lawyer.
Somebody else, your grandchild, the road in Madogo has to be prepared. Now, where do you get it? The 30 million shilling Land Rover, Vogue, has to pay. So we have to pay this as we are looking for where the money is. Not that the Kenyans do not want to pay their fair share.
Okay.
We are only saying those.
Whether we know where the money is, whether. We don't have to look where the money is. We know where the money is. The money is being misused. It's being stolen. Whether. Somebody slap this man.
Those of us who are benefiting the most in this economy, let them look for us and pay, but we are not doing it willingly.
Okay.
And that is why such taxes are introduced where now you can't hide.
And
if legal fees is paid for me in cash, I will hide. If I buy a car with it, you say it to my own app.
Okay. When Ambrose Weda does not agree with the insurance company, then that is giving you insurance.
Yes.
Does it then mean that the insurance does not give you a cover? Who will address that?
There is a law that requires you must have a cover. So somehow you'll have to have a cover.
But
if you don't have a cover, the police will.
That is not provided for. The mechanism to resolve that dispute.
I'm telling you as a lawyer that having a cover on our roads is minimum third party. You can't have a car on the road without insurance. So at that time when you are going for the insurance, you insure your car 30 million. That's when they'll tell you in your 100,000.
Okay.
You insure yours, which is 12,000 third party. They say lipa lufutano. Out of this, okay, the rich middle class, the wealthy middle class will also add to our economy. It's a sacrifice, but one day we will look back.
They already are railing under squeezed pay slips and squeezed household budgets. I mean,
and you see,
look at housing levy.
And you see, Ayub,
for the country.
And you see, Ayub,
is that unfair?
But okay, Ayub,
let me get accountability before I come to Honorable Monji and you.
Yes.
We have a tiny majority of Kenyans who are paying taxes.
Yes.
And this is the middle class.
Yes.
People with pay slips.
Yes.
They are already reeling under the effect of squeezed pay slips that continues to be slashed.
Yes.
There was the housing levy.
Yes.
Shift is starting next month. That is the new social health insurance scheme.
Yes.
I mean, you are taxing less than 3 million people.
Yes.
Up to what level?
The issue you are raising is expand the tax base. That's very good. And we are saying expand it. But for us who have already been caught with our big cars, big houses, big lands, big jewelry, let us pay. They paid for us and we are free and we thank them. Now, you know.
Whether is turning into a comedian. You don't expand the tax base by taxing an already overtaxed economic class. Okay, I said if you want to expand the tax base, create employment, maintain the taxes that you have already. If it's you're being taxed whatever 6% of whatever the case is, you're collecting from the income tax, whatever the case is, maintain it to 6%. Don't add some taxes on VAT, bread, all this stuff. Maintain it. Just add more people, create jobs so you can have more people in the workforce, so you can have more people to tax that same 6%. That's the point I was making. Where that? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, it's been more than 1 hour. Thank you so much. But I want to read this comment that's very good by Mary Wilborn. Says, there is no transparency on taxes collected so far. Some fraudulent schemes over and over by the government. Enough is enough. I agree with that comment. Very good comment. I have some little one crying in the background, so I have to end it. It's been 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank Goodia, Mary Wilborn. I know you came in late, but Karibu Sana. And who did I forget? James Wood too. And all the guys on X, please go to my channel on YouTube. It's Kenya Revolutionary. Go to YouTube channel. Okay? Kenya Revolutionary. Go to YouTube channel. Kenya Revolutionary. Unaona hiyo jina hapo hivyo. And subscribe. Like the video. Nyote hapo kwa X. I see you guys on X. Hapo kwa Twitter. And then kwa YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Kenya Revolutionary. As you see the name there. Go there. Subscribe. Subscribe hapo. Like the video. And share with your friends. I have to end it here, unfortunately, but we shall continue with this Ninio. These are the most sort of people we've governed in Kenya, right? Mr. Big lawyer, 26 years experience. He's a funny character, you know. But anyway, yes. All right, Goodia, thank you so much for being part of it. Mary Wilborn and James Wood, thank you so much. And everybody else on Twitter, like I said. And then I'm waiting. And then hapo kwa YouTube channel yangu hapo inaitwa Kenya Revolutionary. But I would like to special rebel salute to Hanifa. Thank God while I'm released. In fact, I think there's a video of it where she got it released. Let me just show you. So for those of you who think well, she's not released, who are wondering, she's the lady who you saw her shirt was being snatched by one of the police officer. Let me just play that video real quick before I end this. I think it's important. Because she was saying something. I forgot what she was saying something when she got released. She's kind of the one of the, very active person who was leading this Mandamano. She's really involved, and I'm so proud of her. Very, very, very proud of her, this lady. This is her. She just got released.
I don't know if you've seen from the videos. I was actually just came out from the Uber your archives and they just took me. I didn't do anything. I did something. We took to go over so wakatuleta huku, they took our fingerprints. So I don't know, it's been a whole like it hasn't even started. So why you had so after kuongea na watu but tulikuwa kwa Serbia so that's why they released me but coming back for the other.
Have they given you like lunch? She's a very bright lady. So unarudi at 6.
Anifa unakuja? Unajua
Coming back for the rest of the people.
Wamekurelease unconditionally. Unconditionally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so her name is Hanifa Farsafi. She was kind of one of the, protagonists in this Occupy Parliament thing. I will give a special rebel salute to her and the hundreds, if not thousands, that went to the Occupy Parliament movement, and also everyone who was involved, whether people who are in the Twitter, who are doing their homework about this rogue policemen who are harassing the peaceful protesters. Rebel salute to all of you. You've proved to these politicians, especially this president and his regime, that we can speak up and we can shake things up. I didn't play the part that he had his political minions telling us about the VAT and all the taxes that they've taken out from the original tax thing draft. I'll play it in my next video, something like that. But we've shown, Kenyan people have stood up and shown President Ruto that, hey, listen, you must listen to us. You must, or else things can get ugly. We'll take power back to us. And also, we've told the fake controlled opposition that, hey, listen, you don't have the monopoly to maandamano. This is actually enshrined in our constitution, and anybody who feel aggrieved can express themselves by picketing. It's in the constitution. We don't need Omosh 1 hour with Raila Odinga and Babu Owino to join our movement. Kenyans are bigger than a political party coalition and its followers. Kenyans can speak us up as Kenyans, okay? So I'm so proud of Kenyans. Again, rebel salute to Hanifa Farsafi for her Ninio. I'm so glad she's out of the police Ninio. I understand there's still hundreds of people who are still detained, and there's a call for them to be released. May they all be released. You can go to Twitter sphere and find out how you can reach out to some of them. There's a number there. The People's Watchman, who is Mwangi, what's his first name? Boniface Mwangi, I think. In his page, he writes down the people who have been arrested, and there's a number there. If your relative has been arrested, you can go to his Twitter page and find out how you can make a call, and they'll try to see how they can get him out. There was also lawyers who are tear gassed in this whole ordeal. And there's outrage. It was just it shows how fragile this Ruto regime is. But again, I am so proud of you Kenyans for showing up with that new. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Yes, I'm glad Kenyans have woken up. Yes. Anyway, guys, I have to end it here. Again, I will just want to thank all of you for watching, especially you guys on Twitter right there, and also on YouTube, the likes of Goodia and Mary Wilborn and James Wood and others, and all you guys on Twitter, X, ambao mnaangalia, tafadhali endeni kwa YouTube yangu hapo hivyo, Kenya Revolutionary. Go there, subscribe, like the video, watch my videos. You'll see Ninio. Now, if you want to come in the camera, naweza kuwekea link hapo tuongee, okay? But I'd like to thank you so much, and it's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, friends, enemies, comrades, this is Kenya Revolutionary. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings.